This past weekend, Formula One witnessed a dramatic twist in the Sergio Perez saga. His recent performances for Red Bull have plummeted to shocking lows. With just 5 points in the last 3 races, he's lagging behind everyone but Lance Stroll among the top 12 drivers. Lewis Hamilton is now breathing down his neck, poised to steal second place in the championship, a scenario few could have foreseen. The Mexican Grand Prix looms, and the question on everyone's mind is whether we'll know Perez's fate by then, or will Red Bull give him one last chance? Let's find out. Considering there was no race last weekend, the Formula One media were very busy. Rumours of Sergio Perez making a big announcement after the Mexican Grand Prix were abundant. The story was that after Checo's home race, the Mexican Grand Prix, he would announce his retirement from Formula One, effective at the end of the 2023 season. Considering how the season has gone for him, it's a believable enough story. In the Drivers' Championship, his teammate is beating him by 209 points. That gap is as big as the one from Checo to Valtteri Bottas in 14th place. As far as teammate head-to-heads go, the only team with a bigger differential is Aston Martin, where Lance Stroll hasn't scored any points since the summer break. The pressure on the Mexican driver is huge, as his teammate has consistently shown what is possible in the RB19. The media attention has been intense, and the scrutiny from his own team has been unrelenting. So you can understand why this story spread like wildfire, but where did it even start? Well, it was a post by a user called Chidi Anna Kendrick on the Formula One subreddit that started it all off. The post said, "A few days ago, several people were testing some race cars at a local track. After the day at the track was over, this guy's group joined our group and we all went to dinner together before getting back to the hotel. I do not know this guy personally and just met him at the track that day, but had heard of him before because he's a well-known figure in racing circles in Mexico. It was also known he was one of the top guys in Escuderia Telmex. Doing a bit of research, he was working as a high-ranking individual for Escuderia Telmex, directly linked to their international sponsorship deals, aka Sergio Perez, and other motorsports people up until 2022. Just for some context, Telmex is a massive telecommunications company in Mexico, and Escuderia Telmex is the racing organization that they sponsor drivers through. They paid for Sergio Perez to race throughout his junior career and into Formula One. Every Formula One driver needs financial help to make it through the junior categories. Some get it from family, like Lance Stroll. Some get it through sponsorship, like Sergio Perez. The Reddit post continued by saying, "Here's what he said to the best of my recollection. Red Bull has told Sergio they will not keep him for 2024, breaking the existing contract. Nothing new in F1 or for Red Bull this very season with Nick. Apparently, this decision was communicated during the week of the Japanese Grand Prix. This could somewhat explain the absolute shockers that have been Japan and Qatar for Perez. It probably won't be a surprise to anyone to hear this. Obviously, the validity of a post on an anonymous messaging board is quite questionable, but considering the context of what has been happening around Sergio Perez, it is believable. Then again, all the best rumors are believable, even if they aren't true." The poster did go on to say why Perez had decided to retire instead of taking a seat elsewhere. Apparently they were told, "Checo's team, that's the managers and main sponsor Escuderia Telmex, immediately started looking around and talking to people, but 2 main problems arose here. There are no seats available. Only one not confirmed is Williams, and maybe Stroll's place isn't as secure as everyone thought pre-Qatar. But these past 4 to 5 months have been extremely damaging to Sergio's well-earned reputation. Other teams have mentioned to them how he's now on the older side. During the off-weekend between Japan and Qatar, Sergio and his team came to the conclusion that it was time to end his Formula One career. He's been doing this for a long time, and his family keeps growing and growing. The announcement will be made during the Mexican Grand Prix weekend in 3 weeks' time, and that'd be it." Again, that seems entirely believable, but it is still a Reddit post. Surely no one's going to pay it any attention. Well, they probably wouldn't have, if Checo's team hadn't decided to respond. Luis Alberto Aguirre, who has been part of Perez's team since 2018, posted on X in response to the fabricated post. Checo himself has responded to the rumors of his retirement as well. The Mexican driver insisted that he intends to continue competing in the sport for an additional 3 to 4 years. He stated, "Well, right now, I have a contract for next year, and it will be important to have a good year. I have the motivation to continue, and I want to stay for more years, because I believe that I still have a lot to give in Formula One. I would like to stay in F1 for at least 3 or 4 more years. With Red Bull, performance is everything, and drivers have rarely been given the time and space Perez has gotten. Pierre Gasly was given half a season before being swapped for Alex Albon. Albon got swapped for Perez after just one full season because of his struggles with the aggressive Red Bull. Since Perez did not come from the Red Bull Junior program, he likely has a very different contractual agreement to Gasly and Albon. It is probably more protective of his position on the team, but McLaren showed last season that just because you have a contract, it doesn't mean you can't be paid to go away, which is what they did with Daniel Ricciardo. Even if there are protections in place for Sergio, there are still reports that Red Bull have told him he has to perform or will be gone. The startling claim reported that Sergio Perez will face the chop at Red Bull unless he is second in the Drivers' Championship after the last 5 races of the season. He has exhausted RBR's patience, according to Brazilian television network Globo, who claim Perez has been set a goal in order to keep his drive for next season. Either try to secure the runner-up in the last 5 races of this year, or he will be out of the team next season. They report that Red Bull have told Perez. With Daniel Ricciardo back on the team and Liam Lawson looking ready to take a seat in Formula 1, Red Bull do have options to fill Checo's seat if he can't turn his form around, and loses his position to Lewis Hamilton before the end of the season. Those 2 potential replacements have a big question mark next to their names though. Can Daniel Ricciardo really re-find his former self and perform in the same way he used to at Red Bull? He would definitely get the seat over Liam Lawson. Red Bull will want to nurture Lawson's talent, and if they put him alongside Verstappen, all they'll do is invite media attention and criticism onto him. According to Helmut Marko, the lack of a guaranteed quality replacement is enough for Red Bull to not want to sack Checo. I may be repeating myself, he told Sport 1, but Perez has a contract that we want to respect. We're doing everything to get him back on track. We lack the alternatives, otherwise he would possibly have a problem. As for who can keep up with Verstappen, Marko said there was only one candidate. At the moment, I only see one who could come close to keeping up with Max, Fernando Alonso. But with Alonso at 42 years of age, he's unlikely to be an actual possibility for Red Bull to consider. Not that Red Bull could just go and pluck him out of Aston Martin anyway. Lance Stroll doesn't seem like the type to let his prize assets go. With all of this going on over the weekend, you can understand why this media fire started. Red Bull did fan the flames though with some of their social media activity. A seemingly innocent social media post celebrating Spa-Francorchamps' contract renewal became a big part of this story. Let's be honest, this post didn't really mean anything, it's just a nice photo from Spa. Perhaps Red Bull didn't have a good one of Max and Checo. Nonetheless, the simple flashback post stirred the pot of speculation. Red Bull's drivers are Max Verstappen and Checo Perez. Well, to celebrate Spa staying on the calendar until 2025, the team has used an image showing Daniel Ricciardo, declared La Sexta, a Spanish TV channel which described the act as exhibiting total contempt toward the Mexican driver Sergio Perez. The choice of image was definitely poor considering the cloud of uncertainty surrounding Checo, but would a Formula 1 team really hint at a driver's retirement or imminent firing with a social media post? I don't think so. But do I believe that Perez will announce his retirement after the Mexican Grand Prix? It's not unbelievable, is it? But what do you think? Is this all just media madness sparked by a post on Reddit? Or is it believable enough that it might just be true? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and while you're there, give this video a like, it really does help us out. Until next time, drive safe and bye for now.